A gorgeous night in South Philadelphia as the Phillies get set to open up the 6-game homestand. It begins tonight with Game 1 of this series against the Washington Nationals. The Phillies with the best record in baseball, a record of 77-40. Well, this has been a festive night here at the ballpark already. First pitch is about 35 minutes, or 30 minutes, I should say, after where it normally would be because of ceremonies that took place a little while ago featuring John Kruk, who was put into the Phillies Wall of Fame, and rightfully so. One of the more popular Phillies from the early 90s and from that 1993 National League Championship team. Jim Eisenreich, his teammate on that National League Championship team, pulled off the drape which covered John Kruk's plaque out of the Phillies Wall of Fame, and his enshrinement is complete. He took a victory lap around the warning track, and this capacity crowd, all in their seats, ready to go, greeted him at every piece of this ballpark. And now the Phillies will return home after a 10-game road trip in which they were 9-1. The lineup cards are being exchanged at home plate. Pete Buchanan, Davey Johnson with the umpires, and this is one of the great Philly traditions. The lap around the ballpark, the victory lap, is John Kruk slapping some hands of some fans down the lower levels. Dan Baker just reminding the fans to see who could be the loudest as the Krucker went around the ballpark. Boy, it was just a great night. A great introduction by Darren Dalton. Some of the Phillies greats were here as well. Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlton, Jim Bunning, because it is Alumni Weekend. Let's listen in to see what John Kruk had to say.
Everything in my life besides being born in West Virginia happened right here. Met my wife here. My children were born here. Diagnosed and cured of cancer right here. In 1989, the Phillies took a chance on a guy that was hitting 180. And I stunk. But the Phillies ownership group, Bill Giles especially, Larry Boa, very integral part of bringing me here. They took a chance, and apparently it's paid off. You know, you hear players, media people say that it's tough to play in Philly in front of these fans. To those people, I say, you didn't have the guts to succeed here. Thank you.
That's a pretty sweet way to end what turned out to be a great speech by John Kruk before he was given hugs all around by the folks up on the dais. It was really a great ceremony, as it normally is during Alumni Weekend, during the induction of the Phillies Wall of Fame. The Phillies enter play tonight, 8.5 games ahead of the Atlanta Braves. Look where the Nationals are, 56-61. They are 21 games off the pace, and they continue to try to rebuild for the future. Phillies finished up their 20-20 pretty good fashion. 16-4. They hit 266. The starters' earned run average, well, it was much like it's been all season long. Below 3 at 2.90. And now 45 games remain. 22 here at Citizens Bank Park and 23 on the road. The Phillies will be home for 6, and it begins tonight against the Nationals. And let's take a look at their lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off for the Nationals and playing center field, Rick Ankiel. Batting second, the second baseman, Danny Espinosa. Brian Zimmerman hits third, followed by Johnny Gomes and Jason Worth. Wilson Ramos, the catcher, will bat sixth. Lance Nix is at first base. He'll bat seventh. Hitting eighth and playing shortstop is Ian Desmond. And batting ninth at pitching is veteran right-hander Livan Hernandez. And they'll face Phillies lefty Cole Hamels, making his 25th start, his 20th against Washington. He's 13-6 with a 2.53 earned run average, and wheels across the board. This has been a spectacular year for Hamels.
Just a tremendous year, as you say, Tom, for Cole Hamels. His last 9 games started against Washington, 6-0 with a 2.73 earned run average. And, you know, every game he goes out there, he's been consistent, and he's really consistent with 4 pitches, maybe none more than he was Saturday afternoon out at AT Park in San Francisco. That was as good a game as he's pitched all year. See his numbers overall against Washington. Has pitched well against this team, and a guy that just goes out and competes day after day and has been one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball all year. Time now for the Nissan keys to tonight's game. As Tom mentioned, it's really pretty here tonight. A beautiful night. It'll be moonlit later on. And well, the Nationals always play the Phillies tough. You saw their 21, 22 games out. Forget that. And the energy of the home crowd, well, boy, you can feel it when Johnny was going around the outfield tonight in that car. And these people have come here to celebrate this team coming back after that 16-4 road trip. Well,
Rick Ankiel will lead it off, and the first pitch of the night is fouled away, so we're underway. It's no balls and 1 strike.
Not road trip, but 9-1 road trip, but 16-4 overall. That was remarkable, that run.
See, Ankiel's numbers overall 247 with 7 home runs. And he takes inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Chase Utley has been such a spark plug since coming back off the disabled list. He is playing in his record-setting 1,004th game as a Phillies second baseman tonight. Ryan Howard had some pretty big swings, particularly in the Colorado series and in that final game against the Dodgers. And Charlie Manuel pointed to Hunter Pence's at bat in the Dodgers game on Wednesday as being a key one because it really got the rally started and showed some life for the Phillies because they were down 6-0 at that point.
Yeah, a lot of guys contributed. You go 9-1 on that trip to those 3 towns. You have played some really good baseball.
Here's the 2-2 to Ankiel. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Ankiel, since coming off the disabled, has been really a hot hitter for the Washington Nationals, leading off with some power. You know, this guy, you still don't know whether or not he's ever going to be a big-time major league player, but he's starting to show some signs of it.
Down low, ball 4, and he's reached base safely now in 14 consecutive games. During the 2011 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. We have not seen this often this year where Cole Hamels walks the leadoff batter, but Ankiel is aboard. He can steal some bases. He has stolen 8 this year. He's been caught 3 times. And it'll bring Danny Espinosa to the plate.
Phillies have just blown the division wide open, except for Atlanta. But this Washington Nationals team, they have some really good-looking young players that are starting to learn how to play up here. Here's one of them right here. I know he's only 27, but you see he has 17 home runs. Desmond's another one. And they have Zimmerman back, who's on deck and a red-hot hitter. So, you know, when you play them, it seems like the Phillies beat them a lot, but it never seems like they go out and smoke them. Well, they have a few times, but the games are close.
Well, since Davey Johnson took over from Jim Riggleman, they are 16-23. And a fastball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Espinosa.
They beat the Phillies the final 2 games of the last time they saw them in that series in Washington.
Espinosa 1 for 4 against Hamels in his career. And he hits it in the air foul off to the right and out of play. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just a perfect night to play. Low humidity, a little breeze. It's really nice here tonight.
See the conditions 81 degrees and mostly sunny. And that was basically the case all day long. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Espinosa. And a fastball called strike 3. Actually, that may have been a cutter, and it was. And there's 1 away here in the first.
Espinosa thought it was inside. And Cole gets a call on that, or maybe it was a strike. Bob Davidson's the home plate umpire tonight. Tom said it's a cut fastball. You see it have a little movement there at the end. I think Espinosa thought it was high.
There's Davey Johnson. Yep. Played with the Phillies in 77 and 78. He's won 3 World Series championships. 2 as a player, 1 as a manager, and 15 major league seasons as a manager. He has a .561 winning percentage. Ryan Zimmerman's the batter. He takes outside.
Been a special advisor for Washington for a number of years, along with a guy who's here tonight, Bob Boone.
Bob was recognized as one of the members of the Phillies Wall of Fame prior to the start of the game.
It was neat to see those guys out there again.
Phillies have not seen much of Ryan Zimmerman this year. In fact, they haven't seen him since spring training.
Right.
He's been out with an abdominal problem. He had surgery earlier this year because it just became too difficult to deal with. You see his numbers in his career against the Phillies: 88 games, 12 homers, 55 runs batted in. And he takes low, 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, they have 2 pretty good right-handed bats in a row coming. 3 when you consider Jason Worth, because Johnny Gomes is right there. He has moved over from the Reds, and there's Jason Worth in the dugout.
They're without Mike Morse, who was hit by a pitch yesterday and is out of tonight's game. And there's ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning for Hamels. And that'll bring Johnny Gomes to the plate.
Pretty good approach they've had to Hamels here in this inning.
It's a contrast to what we see normally from Halliday and Lee. And now a meeting on the mound between Ruiz and Hamels and Chase Utley and Wilson Valdez. Hamels just trying to gather himself right now. He's not happy at the fact that he walked 2 batters here in the top of the first.
He thought maybe some of those pitches were strikes, and he's trying to calm down a little bit, and everybody sensed that. And of course, the 1 strikeout he got, the Nationals didn't think it was a strike.
I think the pitches to Ankiel, particularly late in that at bat, he thought were good enough. So Johnny Gomes over from the Reds organization, hitting just .219. He does have 13 home runs and 35 runs batted in. Only his 3rd at bat against the Phillies. He was used as a pinch hitter when the Phillies faced the Reds earlier.
He was a big part of the Reds playoff team last year, and hitting left-handed pitching well. One of the reasons why they have him in the lineup tonight.
Hit foul, and it's 0-2. When Johnny Gomes was acquired by the Washington Nationals, I think a lot of folks looked around and said, well, why?
Yeah.
And they were having a lot of trouble scoring runs, and they also felt like they needed another right-handed bat. So that's why they sent a couple prospects, marginal prospects, to the Reds for Gomes.
Well, Davey Johnson likes offense.
There goes Ankiel. The pitch is taken low. The throw to third is not in time. Zimmerman started but stopped at first, but it's the 9th stolen base of the year for Ankiel.
Ankiel was watching Cole Hamels, decided he could go, and just beats the throw. Good throw by Carlos Ruiz. Right on the bag.
So 1st and 3rd with 1 out. And that pitch low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hamels has been getting a lot of ground balls this year. Downward plane on his pitches. The cutters helped. He doesn't throw as many pitches up in the zone. So it didn't used to be you'd think about a double play that much with Hamels. Now you do.
See Gomes' success getting runners home from 3rd with less than 2 outs. Popped up. Shallow right field. Pence settles under it. And Ankiel tagged in 3rd. The catch is made. And the throw is drawn by Ankiel, and it was a good one by Pence. 2 outs.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to run Rick Ankiel there, because Hunter Pence did everything right. The ball's hit shallow, first of all, and he really got behind it. Bo Porter, the 3rd base coach, that's what they watch for. Look at him get behind that. So he has all his momentum coming forward, that unusual throwing style of his. It was a little bit offline. It wouldn't have mattered. He'd have still been out.
Hunter Pence with 10 outfield assists, including 1 with the Phillies. And he picked that up the other day while the Phillies played the Dodgers. That'll bring Jason Worth to the plate. The boos were pretty loud when Jason was introduced tonight, batting with runners on 1st and 3rd. He's been more successful lately for the Nationals. And he takes inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Overall hitting just .227. Surprisingly low. 14 home runs, 44 runs batted in.
He had a lot of extra base hits and only 44 RBIs. He struck out 121 times.
He had 22 doubles, a triple on the 14 homers. And he takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's a tremendous number of extra base hits, that 44 RBIs. And there could be a lot of reasons for it. Maybe some guys are picking them up ahead of him. Maybe he's not picking them up. We don't know. We haven't seen him that much.
Well, he's got Ankiel over at 3rd and Zimmerman at 1st. And it's 1-1. And he rips one foul. That one got inside, but maybe not inside enough. And it's 1-2.
He threw Cutter there. you know, if you're going to hit it foul, go hit it foul hard like that.
Well, there you go, Wheels. A comparison to a year ago.
Look at the RBIs.
85 RBIs last year, 44 this year. Those were his overall numbers from a season ago.
Well, it'll be tough to get to that RBI total, obviously.
.22 pitches for Hamels here in the first.
Really good time. I don't know whether Jason's going to guess with him, but he threw cutter in, change up away. Might be a good chase pitch.
Runners lead off first and third. The pitch from Hamels. Up high, 2-2.
Yeah, they decided to go up with a high fastball. See if they can get him to chase up there. But Hamels not afraid to throw a 2-2 changeup, 3-2 changeup. Hunter Pence, only the third chance for the Phillies fans to see him in person.
Yeah, he was excited about it too. There goes the runner from first, and a swing and a miss. He got him with a cutter. Worth is down on strikes. Second strikeout of the inning for Hamels. And although it was a difficult top of the first, he gets through it without allowing a run. So for Washington, no runs, no hits. There were 2 walks by Hamels, but he threw the right pitch at the right time to take this ball game to the bottom of the first. One of the best weather nights of the year here at Citizens Bank Park. A scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the first. The Phillies offense, well, they've been swinging the bat pretty good lately. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Shane Victorino, the center fielder, bats second. James Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Hunter Pence. Raul Ibanez is in left field. He'll bat sixth. The bottom third of Ruiz, Valdez, and Hamels. And look at Wilson's numbers against the Nationals here in 2011. And they will face veteran right-hander Livan Hernandez, who didn't really seem like he was warming up at all. But maybe he doesn't need to after pitching for so many years here in the majors.
How about he has over 3,000 innings pitched? This guy is just a remarkable long-term pitcher, 36 years of age. Originally signed by Florida back in 1996.
Well, Jimmy Rollins has certainly seen him a lot during his career. This is his 73rd at-bat against Livan.
Yeah, Livan had pitched in the National League East a lot. There you see our scouting report, and I just put that in the middle. Then he makes it up.
There's a slowly hit ball to the right side. Espinosa makes an unbelievable play that I think even surprised Lance Nix. Lance Nix didn't even know where the first base bag was. He thought that one was going to right field.
So did Jimmy Rollins.
Yeah, I don't know if Jimmy spun his wheels at the plate.
I think he thought he had a hit off the bat because it's not hit real hard, but it looks like it's in the hole.
He didn't spin his wheels.
No, he just makes a great play. There you see him right here. Look at Nix. He's over here. Here's the bag. It's like, oh, where's that coming from? He was really ready to get into that trail position, you know, where a first baseman goes on the throw to second.
Well, Nix hasn't played many games at first base. In fact, he played a lot when he was in high school, but not as a major leaguer. And there's another Another play by Espinosa. Wow. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first on 2 really good plays by the Nationals second baseman.
I mentioned him, when he came up. That you see the batting average. You don't think, well, what kind of player? This kid has a potential to be really good. With power, he's an outstanding defensive second baseman. And right there, the Phillies should have first and second, or even a first and third. Who knows? Nobody out.
Well, instead, 2 outs, and it brings Chase Utley to the plate.
3 pitches.
See Utley's career numbers against Hernandez: 13 for 34. And Chase takes outside. You figured he would. It's 1-0.
And Levan's coming off a pounding at Colorado in his last time out. He really has not pitched well since the All-Star break. But he's one of those guys, I said in the scouting report, he just makes it up. He's got all kinds of different pitches, deliveries. He'll pitch backwards. He rarely throws a fastball in a fastball count. Like right now, it's 2-0. Will he throw a fastball? No, it's unlikely. Or if he does, he'll nibble with it. That's what he did last time out. He really struggled. It said that's a fastball. It was 80. And that's the point. It's just, he's at that point in his career as a hitter. You just have no idea what he's going to throw. But he's much more hittable now than he's ever been.
He has a lifetime record of 172 and 174. And he's behind 2 balls and 1 strike to Utley. And Chase doesn't pull the trigger, rightfully so. 3-1.
Patience with Levan Hernandez, and it's not easy because he throws a lot of pitches that must really look hittable to hitters.
With his outing tonight, he's tied for the most active starts against the Phillies. As Utley hits it off the end of the bat to shallow right. Espinosa, well, why not? He's made every play in this inning, including that one. The Phillies go down in order. It's on to the second. Now, by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines do rapid rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Buy Xfinity only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. Buy Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phillies. Buy Citizens Bank. Where for homes? Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And buy Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. Top of the second, Phillies nothing, Nationals nothing. 2 very different halves of the first. As we go to the top of the second, it'll be Wilson Ramos, Lance Nix, and Ian Desmond. The last 2 guys, kind of a change from the original lineup that was posted by Washington. And Ramos rips the first pitch to left. It's a base hit. And he's aboard to start the second. So the first hit of the night. And that'll bring Lance Nix to the plate. Nix was not originally in the starting lineup. It was Brian Bixler that was originally listed as the first baseman, but Davey Johnson made an adjustment. Nix has been battling a sore Achilles tendon, and I guess they were thinking he needed a day off and then decided against it. So they decided to put the lefty Nix in against Hamels. And the first pitch inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Left-hand hitters 240 against Cole Hamels and 203 for right-handed hitters. You know, the theory always has been when you have a left-hander out there who has a great changeup, put a left-handed hitter in there because they don't want to throw changeups. In Hamels' case, that does not apply. And the reason is most left-handers' changeups are going to go down and in to a left-handed hitter, and that is not where you want to throw a pitch to a left-handed hitter.
2 balls and no strikes, the count to Nix. There's a changeup, swung on and missed.
See, that's the point. Most left-handed pitchers are not going to throw changeups to left-handed hitters, especially behind in the count. Cole Hamels, it does not matter with him.
Cole has not been as sharp as he normally is out of the gate here tonight. Fly ball down the left field line. Ibanez on the run. It's a foul ball. And he didn't get to it. He made a nice effort, though.
Yeah, how about that catch he made against the Dodgers the other day late in that game? That saved it.
Saved the ball game. I mean, he went every which way to try to make this catch, and he was awfully close to it at the end.
Yeah, nice try.
I say that because it was slicing away from the entire time, which is what was happening the other day in Los Angeles. Inside, that 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Here it is. Here's that play right. Who hit that? Ethier?
Andre Ethier.
Yeah, Ethier hit that slicing line drive. There was nobody out at the time and a runner at first. Big time problems there. Phillies had a 2-run lead at the time.
Inside, ball 4. So 3 walks now for Hamels in the first couple of innings. If you're hitting the road, take the Phillies with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Phillies game live or on demand on your computer or your favorite devices. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. So first and second with nobody out. And here's Ian Desmond, who has had himself one up and down season. And a lot of the down part of his season came against the Phillies earlier this year. He's just 2 for 32 against him.
Yeah, that's when they had him leading off. And it was really a dead spot in their lineup because he couldn't get on base.
Well, here he's batting with Ramos at second. And Nix over at first.
A big spot here because the pitcher's on deck. Now, that's no ordinary pitcher on deck as far as hitters goes. Livan Hernandez can handle the bat.
He's more of a normal hitter this year, though, than other years.
But, you know, you look down there and he has 36 at bats and only 2 strikeouts. So he puts the ball in play. He bunted in 2 runs against the Phillies this year with runners at third and less than 2 outs. And he's put a bunt down on the right side of the diamond and gotten runners in. Really struggling with his control today. Or tonight. Very unusual for Hamels, who's been so sharp all year. Very high pitch count already, and just not the guy we're used to watching.
How about that? Livan Hernandez plate appearances without a strikeout. He's the National League leader.
Yeah, because I just said at bats. That's plate appearances.
Swing and a miss and a changeup. 2-2 to Desmond.
There's part of your thing about Desmond, Tom, struggling. 2-0, great situation to hit. Hamels fools him with a changeup and he swings at it.
And Ruiz hangs on. It's a strikeout for Hamels, his 3rd of the night. So 1 away here in the second.
Now this really presents a problem for a team. because you think, well, here comes a pitcher, he's going to bunt. First of all, here's Desmond chasing another bad ball, a high fastball, it's a foul tip hung on to by Carlos Ruiz for a big out. But with Livan Hernandez, who knows? You really, what you have to do when he's hitting is put on a straight bunt play. You really can't afford to have guys moving around too much. They have to hold their ground a little bit. And if he's going to sacrifice, take the out. But you start moving around on him, he'll swing and find a hole.
So his career numbers, 10 career home runs for Livan Hernandez.
See, he's just kind of, you don't know what he's going to do right now. He will not show anything.
No, he's not going to bunt. He takes inside. It's 1-0.
Right.
The active leader in sacrifice bunts. Well, there you go. Omar Vizquel. Juan Pierre's second. Then Livan Hernandez and Roy Oswalt.
And 3 pitchers there in a row, and Javier Vasquez, too.
Swing and a miss. Way out in front.
Doing a good changeup, and that's respect. This guy's hit 10 home runs. He has 959 official at bats, too. You get a pitcher up near 1,000, they've been around a long time.
And that doesn't count Cuba.
Right. That's a good point.
Hit towards shortstop. Rollins off his glove and into left field. And a run's going to score. It's 1-0 Washington. That's going to be a base hit for Livan Hernandez, his 6th RBI of the year. And with Rollins shortening up at short, it was difficult for him to get to that play. He was just trying to knock it down.
Sure, he's feeding up the middle for a double play. And essence of Livan Hernandez, he doesn't hit it hard, hit it right off the end of the bat, but he put it in play. And it really looked like Jimmy Rollins was going to glove that and just have the bases loaded. But Livan knocks in another run. How many RBIs? 84 runs batted in this career.
And Ankiel takes a breaking ball, hits it foul. Everything seems very casual for Livan Hernandez.
Oh, he enjoys
strolls
himself.
back to the bag.
The guy is one of those guys that does not, body-wise, you think, he's a tremendous athlete. He can do so many things and has had a great career.
And Keel off the hands over second and into center field. Nix is heading home. Victorino's throw sails, and it's 2-0 Washington. Well, it wasn't hit that hard, but Ankiel picks up his 27th RBI of the year.
It's a strange game right now. Rich Doobie senses it too. He wants to come out and just talk. Nothing's really going real well for him right now. Command isn't very good, and then a couple of fluky hits in this inning too. As Tom said, right off the end of the bat, and just a little quail into center field. Victorino really doesn't have much chance. But with Livan going into second base, there are base runners that would have gone to third on that play.
Yeah, in fact, Ankiel was waiting and waiting because he thought that Hernandez was going to go a couple different times.
Sure, because if you're not a pitcher running out there, the way that throw missed everybody, you would run. Look at that. How many times have we seen that with him? Not often.
41 pitches and the splits. 20 balls, 21 strikes. So it's 2-0 Washington. And Danny Espinosa, who struck out his first time up, is the batter. Espinosa is 9 for 30 against the Phillies this year. He has hit 4 home runs.
Oh, he's really strong.
He had that 2 home run game against Cliff Lee earlier this year in Washington.
He's hit 5 right-handed and 12 left-handed, so 2 of the 5 off Lee.
Cutter inside, foul back. It's 0-2. Phillies set up to try to turn 2 and get out of this jam here in the second. And a swing and a miss, and Espinosa's down on strikes for the second time tonight. 4 strikeouts for Hamels, 2 away here in the second.
Real good changeup, got him to chase, and now just try to get out of this with 2 and find some kind of rhythm for him. Here's a changeup, down, out of the strike zone, chases it.
Well, still a tough hitter to go with Ryan Zimmerman. He walked him the last time up. And he delivers a strike at the knees. It's 0-1.
Remember, the Zimmerman's always had this big high leg kick, but just watching him a few games on television, he's really come up with it really seems exaggerated. Maybe it's always been that way. I didn't remember it this much, but his timing is really good right now.
Fly ball center field. Victorino doesn't see it. Now he finds it and gets to a spot, and the side is retired. Hunter Pence didn't see it either, but fortunately Victorino picked it up. 2 runs have scored for Washington. They leave a couple as well. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 2-zip Nets. Question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, this might knock your rhythm off. We're doing it a little early because the Krucker's going to join us next inning. Name the 2 Phillies players that hold the franchise record for most back-to-back homers in a season. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Well, that's not Raleigh fingers, but that mustache must have taken a long time to put together.
Really?
That's some style right there, Wheels.
Back-to-back homers in one season. So it'd be like a pretty good 3 and 4 combination or something like that, maybe.
You would think so. Speaking of 3 and 4, here's number 4, Ryan Howard.
Well, like Utley and Howard be very good guess. Now, I'm not making that, but I'm just saying that's your point.
No hints here in the bottom of the second.
No, I wouldn't get him in the 3rd, let alone the 2nd.
Devon Hernandez delivers outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
It may be the deepest second base position we've seen all year, where Espinosa is. Look at it.
Imagine where he'd be if it was AstroTurf.
Amazing. Look at that.
On the inside corner, 1-1.
Who's that guy that used to? Ronnie Belliard. Remember how deep he used to play?
Oh, he was deep. Yep. I still think Marlon Anderson played the deepest second base of anybody I've seen.
Yeah, and he didn't throw that well.
Now, a lot of that was at the vet.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, he would play a deep second base.
Well, Espinosa is a shortstop playing second base, so he can afford to be out that far because he has a tremendous arm.
2-1 the count to Ryan Howard. 25 homers, 91 runs batted in. And he is way out in front of that off-speed pitch. 2-2.
Yeah, they have to, he got behind a little bit. Cole Hamels showing some signs of straightening it out a little bit. And they just have to be patient with this guy, and they can hit it because they have the last few times out.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Dan Ugglas hit a solo home run for the Braves. They lead the Cubs 1-0. It's now a 32-game hit streak. He's hit 13 home runs during the streak. And Howard rolls it over toward that shift. He takes an odd hop on Espinosa, and Ryan's aboard. After all that, in the first inning, 2 tough plays. That one was hit right at Espinosa, but it was taking some wicked bounces even out to the outfield.
Yeah, and he was so deep coming after that thing that you really thought he was going to make the play. We just showed you how deep he was. Now the ball's going to come over in this area, and it did take kind of a little bit of a funny hop there at the end. They give him a hit on it?
Nope, E4.
E4.
Or E4.5, depending on how you want to score where he's playing.
Yeah, he's just watching it. You know, he should have made the play. I think he caught himself trying to hurry a little bit because he was so deep.
That'll bring Hunter Pence to the plate with Howard at first. Pence has hit an 11 of 12 as a member of the Phillies. ...14 home runs, 71 runs batted in. Just 15 career at-bats against Hernandez.
How about that pitch? 65 an hour. And look at Hunter Pence. He corkscrewed after it.
Hunter Pence among the leaders in hits in the National League. He and Michael Bourne, 2 former Astros, at 142 and 140. Fouls it away.
You know, Livan Hernandez could make him look really bad, or he could hit a monster off him.
I was thinking the same thing. I can't expect Livan Hernandez to always miss his spot, but if he does,
oh. There he goes with that big old slow hook at, what was that one, 65?
I used to marvel at Livan's older brother Orlando Hernandez when he pitched for the Yankees, and the White Sox, and even the Mets, when he would throw a 62, 63 mile an hour hook up there.
Duque.
Another breaking ball, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He obviously does not want to throw Pence hard stuff anywhere near the plate, so he's hoping he'll swing wildly at it again like he did earlier.
Ibanez waits on deck. Nationals lead at 2-0. They scored 2 in the top of the second. Phillies trying to counter here in the bottom of the second.
To a slider that time. A little bit harder, about 10, 12 mile an hour. Interesting to see if they would run here. Down by 2 runs early. A strikeout's going to be a double play. Or the odds are it will be.
Howard with a short lead off first. Doesn't go. And a swing and a miss. 1 away.
He just stayed after him with that slow stuff. That's another curveball. A little bit harder than the other ones, but big old spinner up there, and takes Pence to one knee as he chases it.
1 out for Pence, or excuse me, for Ibanez. And Ibanez, 5 home runs, 12 runs batted in his last 14 games against the Nationals. And he takes outside. It's 1-0. Ibanez did not have a great road trip offensively, but we showed you that catch. I mean, it was spectacular. Really helped put an exclamation point on a great road trip overall for the Phillies. And he lines one back through the middle, a base hit. Ankiel was playing awfully deep, and Howard holds up at second. So first and second with 1 out.
I'd like to see Ryan Howard get to third on that play. It's probably not a hard ball to read off the bat. That it's a base hit up the middle, and as you said, Ankiel is so deep that you don't even have to run fast to go first to third there. You just have to anticipate it and go hard.
That'll bring Ruiz to the plate. Carlos hitting .261 with 4 home runs. 6 for 26 on the road trip. But good numbers against the Nationals this year. 8 for 24. And he takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. In the outfield for the Nationals, Worth has a good arm in right. Ankiel probably has the best arm in the National League, or one of the best arms in the National League, in center. And Johnny Gomes, not a great arm in left. If you're thinking, if you're Ryan Howard, if there's a base hit.
They're so deep.
They are deep.
You know, as you pointed out, Tom, Ankiel was so deep on that play. And so was Gomes in left field. Now, Juan Samuel with down by 2 is not going to run Howard into an out.
2-0 the count to Ruiz. And a breaking ball in the air, straightaway center field. Ankiel started in. Now he's going back. Howard's tagging, heading to third. The throw goes to second. And the Phillies will have first and third with 2 outs. Ibanez could not take a chance and follow Howard on that tag. So that'll leave it for Valdez, making his 15th start at third. Outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. See Valdez's numbers for his career against Washington, but 7 for 20 this year. He's playing today for Placido Polanco at third. The luck of McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Brian Wonder of Newark, Delaware. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Brian will win $100. No word yet on Placido Polanco. The hope is that he'll begin activities in the next couple of days. But they wanted to get him checked out tonight by Dr. Michael Cicciotti after getting a shot earlier this week on the sports hernia that he's dealing with.
See Levon just throwing a lot of breaking balls to these hitters. There's Polanco there with Michael Martinez.
And Jose Contreras, who, according to Ruben Amaro, is making progress.
That's nice.
Yep.
Keep talking about adding an arm to the bullpen. That would be a real good one to add.
Valdez lines one to center. That's going to drop in front of Ankiel. A base hit. Howard scores, and the Phillies are on the board. It's a 2-1 ball game.
Well, nice job by Wilson. All those breaking balls, and he finally got one he could handle. And Ankiel so deep in center field that ball drops for a base hit. Phillies get one back from the 8-hole hitter with 2 outs. That's a real nice run for them. Watch him lunge again, another breaking ball, but he makes contact this time. And as deep as Ankiel is, he can't get to it. Now he's a little bit shallower right now for the first time this inning, and that's with the pitcher hitting.
And the pitcher's Cole Hamels, who takes a strike, albeit a wide one, and it's 0-1. Hamels hitting .148 this year, just 1 RBI. Hits one in the air to shallow left center. Ankiel comes in, calls everybody off, makes the catch, and the side is retired. The Phillies do get an unearned run thanks to the error by Danny Espinosa and the base hit by Valdez. We go to the third. It's 2-1 Nats. Only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Mazda, Zoom Zoom. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Top of the third, Washington leads it 2-1. Phillies got a run back and an RBI single by Wilson Valdez in their half of the second. It'll be Johnny Gomes, Jason Worth, and Wilson Ramos to lead it off for Washington. Gomes flied out to Pence his first time up and right, so he's 0 for 1. And he swings at the first pitch. And a fly ball to center. Victorino meanders under it. 1 away. The Phillies sold out of season tickets this season. Did you miss your opportunity? With a deposit, fans can now be placed on the priority wait list for 2,000 fans. Now, deposits do not guarantee a ticket plan, but they do hold a place on the priority wait list. See the tickets section at Phillies.com for details. Once you put your deposit down, at some point you'll be given more information on the 2012 season. As Jason Worth steps in, he's 0 for 1. And he swings at the first pitch. Towering foul ball pop-up toward the Phillies on deck circle and out of play.
Ooh.
Looked like it hit a young lady right on the shoulder.
Yeah, couldn't quite get out of the way of that.
So 0-1 the count to Worth. Worth has hit it in 5 consecutive games. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. To left field, not deep, playable toward the line. Ibanez got a good jump. 2 outs.
Kind of with a change up there, you can see Jason Worth way out in front of that pitch. Really fooled him.
Well, now Hamels has 2 quick outs here in the third.
Well, the changeup that he threw to Espinosa may have gotten him back in the groove. He's struggling with his fastball command. Starting to throw that pitch a little bit better. See Worth way out in front down to one knee and hits a weak fly ball to left field. May look back if he settles down and go back to Espinosa and Zimmerman in the second inning where it looked like he started to get command of his pitches again. Hopefully that's what happened.
Here's Ramos, who singled his first time up.
Hamels is so good that you just shocked when he struggles a little bit like he did early in this game. Although they got a couple of strange hits off him last inning too.
Yeah, I mean the velocity's down a little bit on the fastball, but that could pick up as the night goes on. The important thing, the separation between the fastball, which has been at 90 at its best, and the changeup, which is still at 81.
And he's throwing his changeup really well right now. It's like a go-to pitch for him early tonight.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Ramos. At the knees with another changeup. Almost got him fishing after a curve, and it's 2-2. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, back down to Atlanta, where the Braves have taken a 2-1 lead over the Cubs. Reed Johnson does have an RBI for Chicago. He's 2 for 2. Fly ball, shallow left center field. Long run for Victorino and Ibanez, and it's Victorino who's there. It turns out to be a 9-pitch inning for Cole Hamels. So a good third for Hamels. We go to the bottom of the third in a 2-1 game. addition to the Birds. Watch Birds of Summer presented by Mazda Sunday night at 6:30 and 10:30 only on Comcast Sportsnet. 2-1 Nationals as we go to the bottom of the third. And at the top of the order is due up for the Phils. Rollins, Victorino, and Utley. See if the Phillies can get that run back. The Nationals scored 2 in their half of the second. Phillies got 1 in the bottom of the second.
Cole Hamels showing signs of settling down right now. Phillies got a nice run off Livan Hernandez last inning, and they can get some more.
Rollins was robbed of a base hit his first time up on a slow ground ball to the right side by Danny Espinosa.
Yeah, and ironically, the error by Espinosa in that inning led to the Phillies' run.
Rollins has hit in 8 consecutive games. His average at .267. Good numbers this year against the Nationals. 13 runs batted in 36 at bats. 2-0 the count. And a breaking ball for strike 1. In the air to center field, backing up on it, Ankiel. And he's about a step from the track, makes the catch. Yeah, there's 1 away here in the third. It'll bring Shane Victorino to the plate. Well, earlier tonight, John Kruk was enshrined in the Phillies Wall of Fame. His teammate Jim Eisenreich pulled off the drape, and there's the Kruckers plaque out in center field. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Outstanding speech, by the way.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was. You know, my wife kept telling me, you should write something down. You should write something down for reference. And I was playing golf today, and horribly, I might add. And you just start thinking about what this city meant to you, and what the teams I played on meant to me, and the people before and the people now. What it means to the city to have these great teams that they're on now, and the teams we played on that were pretty good, and of course the 80s guys too. These fans relate to all of us, so I just wanted to get that point across. This is especially this team. My God.
Hey, the last line that you threw out there.
In the gap.
Well, how much would Vuka like that?
Yeah, it's funny because when I saw the video thing, and one of the last things was me and Vuk hugging, and I thought, I didn't know whether I was going to say another word than guts, but then I thought, I better watch what I said, and when I saw that, I said, okay, I was debating on whether to say that just for fear that people would think I'm an angry man. But when I saw Vuk up there, I said, no, Vuk would love it, so we'll do it.
It's the first thing I thought of, boy. I'm telling you, Johnny, I get a lump in my throat. When I heard you say that, I thought, wow, that would be right up his alley. He'd have been so proud of you.
It's just such a bad rap. Oh, they're hard on you. They boo. Then play better. That's all. Get a hit. Don't strike out with the bases loaded 4 times. Get a hit. That'll turn it around. They're tough on me. Oh, God. Give me a break.
That was good stuff.
Did it take you time to realize that when you were a player, or did you kind of soak that in right away?
Well, I realized when I forgot how many outs there were about a week after I got here.
Remember that night?
I remember that.
And then my first at bat, I led off the next inning. They say everyone who makes a great play leads off the next inning. Not so much in this case, but I remember John Smiley was pitching for the Pirates, and he struck me out on 3 pitches, and the boos were, I mean. But you know what? I booed myself because I was an idiot. Can't count to 3, so why should I get mad at them for booing me? I would have led the cheers. I would have led the boos.
Tommy put his head down after he caught a fly ball in left field. A guy scored from second.
Bobby Bonilla. Yeah. And I'm running in. I'm like, what's he running for? They're going around the bases, and I hear Lenny screaming at me, throw it. I'm like, for what?
1-2 the count to Chase Utley here in the third. Well, Dutch obviously presented the award tonight, which I'm sure was cool. Jim Eisenreich pulled the drape out in the outfield. I mean, it's kind of neat to see your former teammates.
Yeah, it's awesome, and to have I've said this over the last week or so, but when people from Philly call the media or whatever, that it's appropriate that Darren went in first of our era, and because he was our leader and he was our captain, and we should follow him. And so hopefully there'll be more. I think Schilling will get in eventually, and Lenny probably should get in eventually, I guess. And hopefully there's others. And but he should have been the first, and I think it's very appropriate that he was.
Ball's hit hard, backhanded by Espinosa on a big hop, and he throws out Utley, and the side is retired. Well, John, congratulations on a great honor. And we talked about the soundbite. We're going to take a listen to it as we go into break, because it was so appropriate on a great night when the Phillies got a chance to honor John Kruk with the Phillies Wall of Fame.
You hear players, media people say that it's tough to play in Philly in front of these fans. To those people, I say, you didn't have the guts to succeed here. Thank you.
Top of the fourth inning, Nationals lead it 2-1 as Cole Hamels goes back to work, and he'll do so against the bottom third. Lance Nix, Ian Desmond, and Livan Hernandez. Nix walked his first time up, and a breaking ball low, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth along with Sarge. John Kruk is here, and the Phillies game 1 of this 3-game series. It's alumni weekend here at Citizens Bank Park. As Nix lines one to center field, that's going to drop in for a base hit. So a leadoff single, and Trucker went into the Phillies Wall of Fame tonight. Capacity crowd. And you talked about how great it is for the players to play in front of the sold-out crowd. I mean, it is pretty neat. It's
amazing. And, it just, you come back from a road trip like these guys did, even though they had an off day yesterday, but, you get energy. Sorry, you know how it is. I mean, plus, they're great. They're a great team. So the people come here revved up and ready to go. Like they don't come here waiting, hoping something happens. They expect something to happen, and most of the time his team delivers.
Like a 5-4-3 double play. Perfect timing for that with a runner at first base.
Yeah, one of the things you said, and I agree with for sure, that they're not going to realize how good a team they're on until they stop playing. And this is a great team, and you are fortunate to play on the team, especially with the pitching staff. That takes all the pressure off of you. Now all you're thinking about is maybe a game-winning hit and playing some defense. Very fortunate.
Well, I politic for a job with Ruben to be a long reliever. And I can't throw a ball 60 feet, but I'm not sure I'd have to. They don't use those guys much, do they?
Not very often.
But no, this team and these fans, they come out and it's a full house every night, sold out every single night. And I think they're starting to realize, this is special what's going on out here in 2011 with this team, because there's just no holes. It's scary. And when they got Hunter,
Oh boy!
I mean that just made this team as good as it gets.
There's Victorino who tracked that one down. Hernandez is retired, and the Nationals go down quietly here in the fourth. The Krucker will join us again, and we come back in the bottom of the fourth here at Citizens Bank Park. Kruk spent 6 years with the Phillies, and of course inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame tonight. From 89 to 94, 744 games, a 309 average with 62 homers in it and 390 RBIs. Three-time All-Star and got to the World Series in '93. Hit .348 during the World Series. How much did that trade when you and Randy Reddy came over? How much? You think back now, how much did that change your life?
Oh, for everything. It was a good fit. And, you know, Jack McKeon was a manager, GM. He loved Chris James. Loved him. I mean, he kept saying every time we play the Phillies, I can win championships with this guy. I can win championships. So finally, finally just said, well, then go get him. If you want, you're Trader Jack, go get him. And lo and behold, I didn't know I was going to be involved in the trade, but it was for the best for me. I needed to get out of there and to come here, fresh start, and it revitalized my career to come here because of the people here. Because I had Boa too as a coach. He was my manager there for a while at San Diego, and then he was a coach, and he just drilled in my head, you better not screw up. You better not screw up. He said, there, you're going to come. You're going to get a chance to play. He said, you better hit. If you don't hit, you're done. I'm like, oh, that's great. Thanks, Bo, for that vote of confidence. But it worked out.
1 ball and 1 strike to count to Ryan Howard. And he rips one through the shift and into right field, a base hit.
Well, I will say this. I mean, it doesn't matter what sport you're in. You have to come here and be able to produce. And they want you to produce on a daily basis. And they understand the blue-collar work.
Well, he certainly produced, Sarge. Look at that. Mazda leaders, the on-base percentage career leaders for the Phillies. And Johnny is right there, 400. That's pretty impressive.
Apparently. Wow.
You needed a minimum of 2,500 at-bats, and you have qualified for that.
Oh,
400. I walked a lot. Apparently. Walked a lot, got a couple hits.
Well, I love the assessment. Fergosi was up on the video board. Video Dan Stevenson did the video about the '93 team, and Fergosi's comment was, every beer drinker and guy who ate pizza loved John Kruk.
Hey, I lived on it for 5. They have great pizza here. And we go everywhere. You travel and you go to San Francisco, you can't, Florida, wherever, you can't find good pizza. That's why I eat it here.
There's Macho Row, Krucker.
Oh man, that's a bad look. I had to apologize for the. Yeah, there you go. I had to apologize for the mullet, man. What an awful look that was.
Tell you what, I wish I had it now.
That's beautiful.
That is good. That's a good one.
Look at these guys.
They'll be performing at some point.
They'll be, yeah. As soon as Pence hits his homer right here, we'll be in good shape. Then they'll start singing and dancing and celebrating out there.
How about that ball he hit against the Dodgers the other day to center field? I mean, that kind of changed the complexion of that game. Made it 6-2, put the Phillies on the board, and kind of got it rolling again.
Right, hit a high fastball. I mean, he loves a fastball. You can't throw it hard enough. The only pitch that he might be vulnerable to would be that slider breaking away. But guess what? That was tough for a lot of people.
No kidding. If it's a good spot, you're done anyway. I had a guy tell me once that's what he looked for. I look for sliders down the way. For what?
I got to tell you,
enjoy making outs.
J.R. Richard pitching, Gary Maddox used to look for it. He said every pitch.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the book on me was high and tight, low and away. So I didn't look for the slider at all.
No.
Ever.
No. Start leaning into that one. That high and tight kind of hurts, don't it, Sarge?
Particularly for J.R. Richards.
Oh boy.
Here's Ibanez, who singled his first time up. 2-1 Washington. Walking up on the dais today and seeing Schmitty and Jim Bunning and Steve Carlton. I mean, you've accomplished a lot during your career, but how cool is it to walk by those guys?
Well, it didn't hit me the significant. I don't get into like the emotional significance of things until it's at that particular time. And when I walked in the media room and Schmitty, Jim Bunning, Lefty, they all came over, gave me a hug. Congratulations, welcome to the Wall of Fame. That's pretty. I mean, you're just like, what the heck am I doing here? I mean, look at these guys. Lefty, arguably the greatest lefty that's ever pitched. Schmitty, arguably the greatest third baseman that ever played the game of baseball. And me on a wall. Okay, are you kidding me?
That ball's hit softly to second. Espinosa is going to try to turn two, and he does. 4-6-3. The side is retired.
I'm a rally killer.
Well, you move things fast.
Okay. Like the speech. Keep them going.
Well, there he is. Mike Schmidt, Dick Allen, the Bull, Greg Luzinski. Johnny will join us again as we come back for the fifth. Lead it 2-1 as we go to the top of the fifth. It's the start of Alumni Weekend here at Citizens Bank Park. And Rick Ankiel leads it off against Cole Hamels. John Kruk's joining us up here in the booth. These innings that we've had Johnny on have moved so quickly. And Keel has been on base twice. He had an RBI single his last time up. And he breaks his bat. The bat goes into the stands and the ball goes into center field for another hit for Ankiel. Two soft hits for Ankiel. Well, this was back in 1994. What an emotional day. Off the 93 pennant. And not only that, you were going through your cancer treatments here. And then the double. I mean, I know you've talked about this before, but what an amazing day.
It was unbelievable. You don't expect it. And it was like a game time decision. The doctor had to call Lee Thomas and Fergosi, my cancer doctor, and say, yes, he's clear, he can play. And I had a treatment that morning at like 7, and went to the ballpark right after, took a nap, and was hoping that they would allow me to play. And it was no. And finally the cancer doctor called and they said he's cleared. Like it was probably about 11, I guess 11:30, and he said, okay, you can play. I'm like, thank God.
You remember how you felt that day physically? I mean, I guess you were riding high adrenaline wise.
Yeah, when the game was over, I was dead. I mean, I was exhausted, and the treatments took a lot out of me physically. But I just remember when that game was over, I went home, and usually after a day game, I don't go home at all. And
there's a lot to do.
There was a lot to do in this city. There surely was, but.
Ankiel took off as he saw Ruiz ready to throw down to first. So that's going to wind up being a stolen base for Ankiel, his second of the night.
Yeah, that's just heads up right there. And once that ball got over to Ryan Howard, he wasn't going to stop. He's just going to keep on going. Take a look at it. It looked like he was almost going to double, like delayed still on that.
I think that's what it was, Sarge. I think he was going even before Ruiz turned his body.
It looked like Ruiz was reading going back when he had that hesitation going back to first, and Ankiel, smart move.
Well, no balls at 2 strikes the count.
It's amazing, isn't it? The guy came up as a pitcher, a stud. And I watched him in spring training his first year when he said, I'm going to be an outfielder. And I watched his swing, and I said, this guy has a chance. I mean, that's not a pitcher's swing.
Well, I mentioned before, too, and he has one of the best throwing arms in the National League.
And accurate. 60 feet, he couldn't throw it anywhere close to the backstop, and from 250 feet, he throws it on a dime.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Another thing folks always talk to you about are the players from that 93 team. And, it just seemed like the perfect mix come together at the right time.
Yeah, they did a good job of bringing guys in that could play here. And that's, Sarge, as well as anyone, you can get the most talented team in the world, but if they're afraid to play here and they're afraid to get booed and they're afraid to fail, and knowing that, something could happen, as far as the fans go, then you're worthless.
Yeah, I believe that for sure. And I also believe that they can make you better as a player because they expect the best.
I just remember coming here after a season, like halfway through the season, how just emotionally, mentally drained you are, because it's 40 games, whatever you play, you have to be on your best behavior. I mean, you have to be dialed in. Like San Diego, great city. Love it there, but you can make a mistake, and it was okay. You can fail to get a runner over from second with no outs. It was okay. Man, here it wasn't okay, and you find that out early, and I think your concentration level goes up so much. When you're playing here, and I think it really prepares you for playing in a postseason, because you have to be dialed in every pitch.
Ground ball toward the hole and through, a base hit. Ankiel had to wait to see if Rollins was going to get to it, so he'll stop at third. So the Nationals now have first and third with nobody out. Have any of these balls been hit hard?
No.
They're just right in the right spot.
This isn't the long inning I wanted.
No, you wanted it in the bottom of the fourth, not the top of the fifth.
Not this one.
Well, now,
when you have a great changeup like that and a good fastball, you're going to get a lot of cheap hits.
Yeah.
If things aren't going exactly right, you're going to see that little rollovers like that, and jam shots, and broken bats.
Hasn't been able to spot his fastball normally the way that he does, getting those early strikes. Then he can get those guys out in front of that changeup.
But don't get easier here.
No.
Now Ryan Zimmerman is 0 for 1, walked his first time up, and he takes high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Well, the amazing thing about 93 too, we saw that on that note, last place in 92, but I think, as you've told us before, and Dutch has told us before, and even Lenny and Jim Fregosi, you guys felt in spring training that it was going to be your year for one reason or another.
Yeah, we got the platoon thing, with Inky and Milt and Izzy and Wes and Mickey and Mariano. So we knew our bench was going to be good. We knew we'd score runs, and we knew Schilling was progressing, and we knew he had a chance to be really good. Tommy Green had the stuff and the potential to be a big winner. Terry Mulholland, we knew we were going to get solid. Then we added Danny Jackson, so we had a good lefty-righty mix in our rotation. Johnny Padres really believed too with Ben Rivera. He'd get something out of Ben with the, making him throw more over top than sidearm like he was when he first got here. And we thought, okay, if these guys can pitch a little bit, we have a chance because we scored a bunch. And it was fun.
Yeah, 2 16-game winners on that team. 2 had won the count to Zimmerman. That ball's in the dirt, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. You saw David Herndon was loosening up in the pen as Hamill struggles here in the top of the 5th, and Johnny Gomes waits on deck. Sarge, I don't know if you saw the video. I cracked up. Video Dan captured all of your faces on the board, John. I mean, it was funny.
He tries to embarrass you.
He's done that,
and he's good at it.
Yeah.
And he gets joy in it. That's what's amazing is he gets a lot of joy in putting together these things, and you know how he is with his sense of humor. He wants people to laugh, and so he captured all my not so good moments. Well, I didn't know he's going to have the football one.
The football one was hysterical.
Yeah, I guess you were running back, huh?
At least that night he was.
Posing for the Heisman. It was a long season. That's when we wore the maroon unis, before we got the really stunk that year.
Oh, boy. There it is.
Yeah.
That
not a good look.
I mean,
straight Army.
That's the Heisman.
I tell you one thing.
I don't know where we found that leather helmet, but we were really bad, and that was at the end of the year. In football season, the Eagles were already there, and everyone's already talking about the Eagles, and, making plans to go see the Eagles play. And so I thought, well, I don't know where I found that helmet. It was one of them old leather, non-face mask helmets, and so I thought, well, we'll just have some fun.
Well, it got better because then you put the jacket on as your shoulder pads.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was someone who's really small's jacket, because I don't know if you noticed, it didn't fit real well.
Gomes takes low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Hamels has already walked 4 tonight, which ties his season high. His career high is 5 walks in a game. He hasn't done that since 2007. Got a little heavy lifting going on here with the bases loaded.
Yeah, well, you start messing with those off-speed pitches, they'll sit right on that fastball, and he can hit a fastball.
2-0 the count. Well, John, this kind of kicks off alumni weekend, and we talked about Jim Bunning and Mike Schmidt and Steve Carlton, all those guys up on the dais, and there's going to be a lot of guys here this weekend. Yeah,
there's a bunch. There are 30 or 40 some, and I just, the weather's supposed to be not too good Sunday, I hear, and that to me is the day I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
When they unveiled the statue of Harry, I talked to his sons in there, and in the dining room in there, and they're looking forward to it. I just that's a day I'm looking forward to. I think it's amazing what the fans did to raise money to have that statue built in his honor. It just tells you how important a role you guys play in Phillies baseball.
No question about it. And the unveiling of the statue, the unveiling of the statue will be before Sunday's game, and it'll be out there toward Harry the K's. And I know you're not alone in your feelings. Obviously, the fans have those feelings. We do, as Harry's colleagues, but also the players do that are coming back. Yeah, it's been talked about. We talked about it in the room. It's just it's so well deserved, because he's for so many years he was what people listened to every night. They listened to him every single night. And I know my son, we've since moved to Florida this past year. But we got on the internet, we got the package, and he listens to you guys every night, and it just, it means so much to him to have the Phillies, games on TV every night, and so he can listen and watch it and listen to you guys. Hunter Pence makes the play, and Rick Ankiel doesn't go again from third. That's a heck of a throw. And is that Rollins in there cutting it off? Never seen that. I never saw that before. It's a good read, though, because there are no throws coming to third. Howard went out for the ball, and someone had to be the cutoff man. Yeah, that is just a smart play. See, he has his momentum coming in. Throws that ball from the side a little bit. Though he does have those 10 assists this year, does have a good arm. That was really impressive that Rollins came over to make that cutoff. You remember the play against Yankees in Oakland, Jeter? Oh, yeah. When Jeter went and got the flip and threw out Giambi? Jeremy Giambi, remember that? Yeah. And said, why was Jeter there? He said, well, no one else was there. And Jimmy, that's a smart play. Well, and it does a couple of things, too. Let's say it's an errant throw and it gets by Ruiz. maybe Ankiel then scores if it gets past Hamels as the backup. So by cutting it off, you stop everything. You keep Ankiel at third, you keep Espinosa at second, and you keep Zimmerman over at first.
Yeah. Well, he's a shortstop. They should be smart, shouldn't they?
Well, they should. Definitely.
I've never seen a team win with a dumb shortstop.
Well, here's Jason Worth with one out. And he takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. Worth is 0 for 2. He struck out his first time up to end the first. And he flied to left. Jason in his first year with the Washington Nationals. It hasn't been an easy year for him.
No, it's been a struggle.
Straight up and back behind the plate.
It's tough when you go from being a guy that fits into a lineup to be the guy that the lineup's built around.
Yeah.
And this line, even with Zimmerman, when they got Worth, they thought we can build our lineup around Jason. You throw a lot of pressure on yourself. Not only the money, but he felt like he had to be the guy.
Well, Jason's not that kind of player, though.
No.
I mean, he's a good player, but he's not a player. And when you put him on a really great team, he's going to be able to carry that team. He's a guy that you add in, and he's going to do okay. But he's not going to just carry you. Sure, he can carry you certain parts of the season.
Well, the Phillies went out and got Hunter Pence because they really hadn't filled that void that Worth's departure left at the end of last year.
Well, someone asked me about Hunter Pence today and I said, well, the only way I'd compare him is he's Chase Utley with an outgoing personality.
Oh, boy.
He does have that.
Oh, yeah.
He loves to talk baseball, and he's going to enjoy it maybe even more so because he's coming from Houston.
Oh, yeah.
And to this atmosphere.
The day he got traded, I texted him, and I said, welcome to Philadelphia. And he wrote back 2 words, it's on. And, you could tell he's just so elated that, he's here and didn't hit it hard enough for 2.
Well, there's a spinner to first. A run will score, but the second out is recorded. Worth does get the RBI. As Ankiel scores.
That's the changeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with his fastball not where it usually is tonight, the changeup is still where it usually is, which is a good thing.
He's battling, and that's the thing about this pitching staff. Even when they don't have their best stuff, they're able to keep you in the game, and if he can get out of this, he's gotten out of a big mess.
I mean, he's pitching about as bad a game as he's pitched in a while, maybe even all year, and yet it's just 3-1. If he gets this out right here, it's 3-1. This offense, it's nothing.
Ramos is 1 for 2 and a swing and a miss. It's no balls and 1 strike. What is your perspective, Johnny, on this whole team? I mean, I know you said before how great it is. The fans, something they're fortunate to see, but baseball-wise, I mean.
Well, I thought the Braves had a chance, but when they got Hunter Pence, the lineup became so much more difficult to pitch to. And he added another weapon and another dimension. With speed, power, speed. He's a really good outfielder. Unorthodox, like Sarge said, he throws sidearm. But I thought when they got him, I thought all year they were searching for someone to hit fifth. They tried Polanco, they tried Victorino. And when you look at their splits, hitting second, their numbers are so astronomically better than hitting fifth. This guy was made to hit there. I mean, and I thought once they got him, and now Ruiz can go back to where he's comfortable, and Ibanez can go back to where he's comfortable, and now this team's just going to click.
Well, Cole Hamels did a fantastic job of pitching out of a jam here in the top of the 5th, and Johnny, it's always great seeing you, buddy.
Thank you.
Congratulations on it.
Thank you.
Awesome. John Kruk, the latest inductee in the Phillies Wall of Fame, honored here tonight, and it has been our honor to have him here in the booth and to laugh a little with him. The nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And by Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. Now we go to the bottom of the fifth. Now it's only 3-1. We say that because Cole Hamels did a whale of a job getting out of a bases loaded jam in the top of the fifth. Sarge, bases loaded, nobody out, and he allowed just one run.
Yeah, no balls have really been just hit hard off of him. Just not able to get that control the way he would actually like.
Kendrick is warming up in the pen. Now we may see Kyle Kendrick, considering the pitcher spot is due up third. And Cole has thrown a pretty good amount of pitches already. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count.
Hernandez continues to pitch on the outside part of the plate. Now, this is what I don't understand, too. I mean, you know that's where he's going to pitch. And not going to come in. His fastball is 81, 82, and he will as a surprise. I would just take that whole part of the plate away and see exactly where he would throw the ball.
88 pitches so far for Hamels. Meanwhile, for Hernandez, 57. And there he goes inside, but off the plate. One away.
Usually will come inside late.
Now available for a limited time at Phillies.com. Several game-used collectibles, including Cole Hamels' throwback-style uniform, caps, pant, and jersey from his Retro Night win July 22nd. Jimmy Rollins' game-used helmet from that same night, and much more. Look for the Phillies Authentics auction on the homepage at Phillies.com. Here's Valdez with Ben Francisco in the on-deck circle. Valdez has an RBI single tonight. He only run for the Phillies. And he shows bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Placido Polanco, as we said, battling a mild sports hernia, was to be reevaluated tonight. Polanco left the Phillies after the weekend in San Francisco. He's not with them in Los Angeles. Came back, had an MRI. Had a shot to that minor sports hernia, and the hope is that sometime in the next couple of days that he'll start some activities that will lead to his return. So he's dealt with the back issues and with now the sports hernia.
Yeah, you're not losing a whole lot defensively, but offensively, Polanco obviously much better hitter. Could hit with 2 strikes on him.
So 2-2 the count. Rollins is in the hole as Francisco is coming up now. So a big slow curveball. Now the Phillies also earlier today agreed to a minor league contract with Jack Cust, who was let go by the Seattle Mariners. Cust, who established himself as a pretty good designated hitter in the American League, is going to report to Lehigh Valley, and maybe Phillies could use him at some point as a left-handed bat off the bench. We'll see. He's a Jersey guy from Flemington, New Jersey, as you saw. 2-0 the count to Francisco. .88 pitches for Cole Hamels, as we said. 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks.
And just seemed not to be able to get into a rhythm.
Francisco sends one in the air to center, playable for Ankiel. He's under it, puts it away, and the side is retired. Third time tonight, Livan Hernandez has retired. The Phillies in order. We've completed 5. The start of Alumni Weekend, and the Nationals lead it 3-1. Since his much anticipated arrival, the newest Philly has hit the ground running. His teammates have thrived off his energy. His manager loves what he adds to the lineup each night, and he has been admired by all others from the moment he showed up. Hunter Pence went from the cellar to the penthouse on July 29th. He is enjoying the move. So are we. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Hunter Pence has fit in quite nicely for the Phillies. And now Kyle Kendrick will try to fit into this ball game. As we go to the top of the sixth, it's just 3-1 Washington. And Kendrick will take over for Cole Hamels. Hamels goes 5 tonight. 6 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, which tied his season high, and 5 strikeouts. So Kendrick on in a long relief role. He pitched in 1 inning on Wednesday against the Dodgers. And he'll probably be utilized for maybe more than 1 inning here tonight. It'll be Lance Nix, Ian Desmond, and Ivan Hernandez. And Nix fouls it away. 1 ball and 1 strike, and he lost his bat. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Atlanta has jumped all over the Cubs. Chipper Jones, a home run. He has 3 runs batted in tonight. So Atlanta leads at 8-1. Carlos Zambrano out of that game.
Wonder if he got a chance to even hit.
Well, we know that Dan Uggla got a chance to hit against him because he hit a home run against him to extend his hitting streak. 3 unassisted. Nix is retired for the first time.
But when you're hitting like Uggla, that ball it seems like a basketball coming up there. You often wonder why you can't start off that way, but sometimes that happens. You can tell the way he's taking pitches, squaring up balls. I mean, he's getting a lot of luck and hitting on ability.
Here's Ian Desmond, who's 0 for 2. And he takes ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Zambrano tonight, Sarge, he didn't hit, but the Braves hit him pretty good.
It looked like it.
5 home runs.
No way.
Yeah. 2 by Uggla. So that ball not only looked like a beach ball, it was traveling as high as a beach ball. Hit toward third, a fair ball inside the bag, down the left field line, and I believe the ball girl just touched it. That'll be a ground rule double. Well, that's going to happen from time to time.
Yeah, very, very close play there at third. The only saving grace, it was going to go down the line for a double anyway. Let's see whether or not she ended up touching it or not. And guess what? She didn't touch it.
Maybe it hit the chair.
Yeah. Just faking them out. That's all.
Well, she faked the third base umpire out, Jerry Lane. She's saying it looked fair. It looked foul, I should say. Here's Hernandez with a runner at second and 1 out. And he takes low and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, it's amazing again how they just go on and will let Hernandez hit just about any time, and he's not just an out as a pitcher. You have to really pitch him tough. He can put good wood on the ball.
Little cue shot. He didn't get good wood on it. It's a foul ball, according to the first base umpire, Hunter Wendelstedt.
Well, I thought he caught that ball in
I did too.
Fair territory. His body was in foul territory.
It's not even his call.
That's another good point. See where it rolls to. And
well, that's foul.
Looks like it is foul.
He's right.
Ball.
It's not his call, but he was right about it. So Hunter Wendelstedt, usually it's the field umpire's call once it gets past the bag, but Hunter Wendelstedt called it before it hit the bag, but he must have had a better view than Bob Davidson. Well, a base hit up the middle. Desmond's being waved home. Victorino gets to it quickly. Here's the throw to the plate. On one hop, he's safe at the plate. An RBI single for Livan Hernandez. And it's his second RBI of the night. And it's 4-1 Washington.
Oh, Carlos wanted that ball inside. They had him set up just the way he swung at that slider off the end of the bat. But when you throw it in and it doesn't get in, guess what? Goes right up the middle. You see that ball was down, but too much of the plate. Victorino not able to get Desmond. He's a fast runner as he comes in, slides right underneath the tag.
Well, here's Ankiel now with a runner at first. And it's no balls and 1 strike to Ankiel. Ankiel is 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Hit hard, backhanded on a 1-hop by Utley. There's 1, there's 2. A double play, and the side is retired. The Nationals do get a run. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Phils looking for some offense. Mason, who bought WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices? And by Jeep brand. We don't just make SUVs, we make history. Well, Ian Desmond scored the 4th run of the night for the Washington Nationals on a base hit by Livan Hernandez, who has 2 runs batted in tonight.
Well, he's one of the better hitting pitchers, just especially in terms of giving you a solid at bat. You almost have to pitch him as if he's a regular hitter.
Well, RBIs for Livan Hernandez ties the Nationals single season record for a pitcher. Rollins leads it off. Phillies trailed at 6-0 against Los Angeles the other day and came back and won that one 9-7.
Well, this game's still manageable. Just need to get some base runners. Doesn't throw very hard. I mean, Hernandez has to hit his spots to be effective.
Well, Davey Johnson doesn't know it yet, but he'll receive this news about Steven Strasburg, who made his second rehab appearance tonight for Potomac at Myrtle Beach. 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. He allowed 2 hits. He threw 33 pitches in 3 innings. As that ball is bobbled by Lance Nix, but he retires J-Roll. They said, Sarge, that he would go 3 innings or 50 pitches. Well, he didn't go 50 pitches.
Well, I'll tell you what, they can hardly wait for him to get back, and he will be an improvement. And they're taking it awful slow with him, and well, they should.
Well, he had Tommy John surgery less than a year ago. In fact, it was September 3rd of last year after he injured himself here at Citizens Bank Park. He threw 31 pitches in an inning and 2/3 in his last rehab start. So 33 pitches tonight in just 3 innings. And I guess their plan is for him to start again Wednesday in the minors before he eventually gets back here to the big leagues. Topped out at 98, by the way, his last start.
Yeah, they're just making sure that he has no pain, being able to throw his breaking balls. And if he can get up and pitch this year, that's even more valuable time for him. So he's going to need the experience, even though he does throw very hard.
Outside, 2-1. Two and 2 the count to Victorino. Folks at home, and I know I felt this way when I was a kid watching games. Guy throws as soft as Hernandez. You're sitting there wondering, well, they're going to have to eventually get to him sooner or later. But he's pitching right now. He's moving it in and out,
keeping them off balance. Filthy.
At 83, filthy.
Yeah, and that's late movement. Borderline as that ball comes in.
Tom Gorzolani, the lefty, is in the pen just in case Hernandez gets into trouble. Not hit deep to left. Gomes comes in, and there are 2 outs here in the 6th. WB Mason has the brand you want at prices you'll love, like Post-it notes with adhesive that really sticks. Who but WB Mason? Utley's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. So he's down by just 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. We mentioned that number before, the Phillies 16-4 in the last 20 games, the 20-20 that we discuss so often on the road trip. They outscored the opposition 101-62 during that stretch. Well, in this 21st game in 22 days, they're being outscored 4-1, and they have just 3 hits against Livan Hernandez. We go to the 7th.
charge of this one tonight, using his off-speed stuff, hitting his spots. Philly's not able to do a whole lot with him, to say the least. Rick Ankiel's done a good job at the top of the order. Wilson Valdez knocked in the Phillies' only run. Cole Hamels an off night tonight. Looked like he was struggling a little bit with his fastball command and velocity. And to his credit, he only gave up 3 runs, and he got out of that bases loaded, nobody out, on just a dribbler infield out that Worth hit off him. But you know, one of those nights for him, Tom.
Well, Kyle Kendrick now will begin his second inning of relief of Cole Hamels. They'll face Danny Espinosa, Ryan Zimmerman, and Johnny Gomes. So he's down 4-1. And Espinosa hops over the first pitch. He showed bunt, but as he was hopping, he pulled the bat back.
Nationals have a pretty good bullpen too, especially late in the game. So you know, they're getting the game to the point with Hernandez getting to that point where they're feeling pretty good about this. And Kyle and the rest of the bullpen has to try and keep it right where it is.
Inside with a cutter, 2 balls and 1 strike. Mentioned that Kendrick pitched just 1 inning the other day in that game against the Dodgers, and he earned the win, despite the fact that he picked up or he allowed a run. A lot of his teammates were joking with him after that ball game that he was able to pick up a win and relief that day.
Yeah, by ruling, I think they made the scoring decision that they did take the lead while he was the pitcher of record, and even though he gave up a run, he still got the win because they maintained that lead.
2-2 the count to Espinosa. There's Vance Worley, who started the other day and had a difficult time after getting through 4. They decided to take him out.
Well, the Phillies uncharacteristically have had 2 consecutive starts now where their starter didn't go very deep into a game. You're just surprised when it happens because they're so good at it.
Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies starting pitchers lead all major league staffs in wins, winning percentage, innings, with 772 2/3 coming into this one. Roy Oswalt, he's back in the rotation for the Phillies, and he will start tomorrow's game against John Lannon. And Roy Halladay will finish up this series. There's ball 4, and Espinosa's aboard for the 2nd time tonight. First time with a walk. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. All right, Zimmerman's 0 for 1. He walked twice tonight. And he takes way inside. It wasn't as close as he made it seem, but it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Working on a 19-game hitting streak.
He's 9 for 18 against Kendrick for his career. On the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. This 19-game hitting streak is the 11th double-digit hitting streak of his career. I don't know what makes a guy, you know, one of those players that you would say, yeah, he can hit in a long streak, because Dan Uggla to me isn't a guy that you would think could hit in 32 straight.
No, he strikes out a lot, although, you know, he does walk more than he used to, so that's helped him a little bit, you know, cut down on his offers that he was having early in the year. But you're right, he's not a guy that runs real well. Zimmerman doesn't.
But Zimmerman runs better, I think, than Uggla. Maybe the same, but I wouldn't think Uggla, or excuse me, Zimmerman is the kind of guy that would have a real long hitting streak.
No, they just, you know, there's so much involved in a hitting streak. There's obviously some lucky games. They're hitting a lot of balls hard.
to right field. Pence will give it a look. And he reaches in. Did he get it? No, he didn't.
And the fans are booing down there because they wanted their own fans to get out of the way and let him catch the ball. But, you know, guys, ball comes out there, you know, you're thinking as a fan, I want to catch me a foul ball. You're not into the game necessarily where you're just going to move. See, if they move right there, he's going to catch that ball. If they just allow him to do it. But right there, he'll catch that. And it's certainly not fan interference because they didn't reach out into the playing field. So it's just a no play. Well, now you hope Zimmerman. See, here's the thing about a hitting streak.
Yeah.
Zimmerman might be out right there. Yeah.
Jason Worth knows that area quite well.
Yeah, he had a little incident where he said something after a fan did something similar to that. Pence walked away.
Pence also, after the fan bobbled it, it looked like he tried to catch it out of the air then.
He did.
Broke his bat. Fly ball down the left field line and into the seats. So it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan Zimmerman at one point in 2009 had a 30-game hitting streak. Ground ball to third. This should be 2. Valdez to second for 1. And it is a double play around the horn. 5-4-3. Phillies have turned 3 double plays in tonight's game.
Yeah, that's why this game is still manageable. The Nats have had a lot of base runners here tonight. Washington had guys on all over the place, but they've only scored 4 runs. And they know they could have doubled this easily tonight with a little production. There's a good feed to Chase Utley. A little bit low to first base. Nice job there by Ryan Howard to dig out the short hop.
Johnny Gomes is hitless in 3 at bats. And he takes on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Phillies have won 9 straight series from the Nationals here at Citizens Bank Park.
Well, they've played a lot of good games with the Nationals over the years and won most of them. But so many of them are close. And, you know, you hope they make a run out of them in this one. They're keeping the score down at least.
Ground ball to third again. Big hop for Valdez. That's a room service hop. His throw high. Howard applies the tag, and the side is retired. It was a room service hop, but it wasn't a room service throw. Ryan Howard went high in the air and then found the base runner. This was some pretty good defense by the big man to wrap up the 7th. Trivia quiz answer. Wheels, it's alumni weekend.
Yes.
Here in Philadelphia. These two guys may not be alumni, but which two Phillies players hold the franchise record for most back-to-back home runs in one season?
I'm going to go for alumni, and then I said to you 3-4 hitters. Got to be the best 3-4 combination ever for the Phillies. For power, has to be Greg Luzinski and Mike Schmidt. So I'm going to go with that.
You would be correct. Back in 1980, they did it 6 times.
6 times.
Wow. Log back onto Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
I wonder how many times they did it in in the careers here.
I don't know, but it'd be nice for Ryan Howard and Hunter Pence to do it here to start the bottom of the 7th. It's Howard who starts it with a base hit. That's a good start.
Yeah. Hit one of those slow pitches from Livan Hernandez. They're going to have the bullpen up as the inning begins. We'll see how long the leash is. He's really dominated Pence tonight. Here's the Coors cold hard blast, and this was the game winner for the Phillies after a 2-run single by Chase Utley. Ryan Howard sliced one into the Dodger Stadium seats there in left field. Gave the Phillies a 2-run lead. They came all the way back and won that game after trailing 6-0. Our Coors Light cold hard blast.
So Howard is aboard. Nobody out here at the bottom of the 7th. Here's Hunter Pence. Pence has seen 12 pitches so far tonight. 7 of them have been under 70 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That one is above 70 miles per hour.
Well, you know, when a guy's not hitting something, why would you not keep throwing it to him?
Keep on throwing it.
And that's basically what Livan has decided to do, although he did mix it up there with a fastball on the first pitch.
I know the count to Pence. Ooh.
Well, the curveball is the one that's been driving him nuts. There's Burnett and Clippard.
Tyler Clippard.
Yeah. So that's going to be the back of their bullpen's pretty good. And they're getting ready just in case. Drew Storen does a good job closing for them.
With a curve, but it's 1-2.
Just can't stay back. You know, there's certain pitchers that drive guys crazy, and obviously Livan Hernandez is doing that to Hunter Pence tonight.
Yeah, at least tonight, because coming into tonight, he was 6 for 15 against Hernandez.
If it was on curveballs. That's why they're giving him this hitter at least.
Trying to sneak a fastball to the outer edge. That could have been the hardest fastball he's thrown tonight. It's 2-2.
86.
Raul Ibanez on deck. Another curveball tapped toward the mound. Hernandez goes to second for 1, and the double play is turned. 1-6-3. And there are 2 outs.
Just a forgettable night for Hunter Pence off those curveballs. Got him again with 1. A little slow curveball. Didn't get out of the box at all. Livan Hernandez really feels his position well. Gave Desmond a perfect lead at second. Coming across from shortstop. Watch. There's that big old spinner coming up. Almost falls down hitting it, so he didn't get out of the box. Look how he leads him coming across the bag. Gets a double play. Probably would have beaten that out if he hadn't fallen coming out of the box.
Ibanez 1 for 2. And he takes low. Ibanez singled in the second. Hit it to a double play. Pence's time so far with the Phillies has been very memorable. As Wheels said, this is somewhat of an unforgettable night, being 0 for 3 and hitting into a double play.
You just forget this night because he's been so good.
Oh, he could get another chance too.
Exactly. And someone will be throwing a little bit harder next time.
Ball forward. Ibanez is aboard. It's a 2-out walk here in the 7th.
Yeah, that's it.
Davey Johnson heading out to the mound. Looks like he's going to bring in a relief pitcher for Livan Hernandez. Hernandez just looked back to see if Davey had signaled to the pen. I don't think he's pleased that he's leaving after 89 pitches. So his night is done. Tyler Clippard's coming on to face Carlos Ruiz. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen here at Citizens Bank Park with the Phillies down by 3. Presented by Comcast, the Fanatic encourages children to read for a minimum of 15 minutes a day. Teachers can register for the program, which is open for grades K through 8. Materials include bookmarks and pencils for each student, plus the opportunity to win a Fanatic literacy visit for their school. For more information, email FanDev, D-E-V, at Phillies.com. This conversation began as soon as Davey Johnson came down the stairs with Steve McCatty and Trent Jewett, who's the first base coach. I think they're talking about Livan Hernandez, who was not happy that he was lifted from the ball game with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Yeah, that may have just been, did we all see the same thing?
Tyler Clippard in his 52nd game, 2-0, 1.68 earned run average. Last outing, Hernandez lasted just 3 2/3, allowed 7 earned runs. And he's had some clunkers this year. I'm sure Davey Johnson figured, well, 1 run, 4 hits. Let me get a bullpen in there. That's pretty good. And Clippard leads that charge as kind of a setup man.
Well, you know, Livan had been hit hard last time out. You know, managers in that situation where they're thinking, all right, you know, we've gotten this far. I have a good bullpen.
Yep.
This team is so explosive that we're playing. I'm going to go to my bullpen right now and say thank you to my starter for getting me this far. Livan Hernandez, on the other hand, is a great competitor. He doesn't want to come out of the game. Whether he did something there that they didn't like, they'll handle it.
This is Livan coming in. Said something to Steve McCatty as Livan high-fives his teammates. And then he picked up whatever he had on the bench. Well, knocked off whatever was on the bench, then headed toward the clubhouse. Davey Johnson is a seasoned manager. He's had himself some pretty good pitchers during his tenure. You know, it began with the Mets with Doc Gooden, guys like that. It continued. The Reds, the Orioles, the Dodgers.
Oh, he's an old school guy. Davey played here for a couple of years, got to know him, and he's really a lot of fun to be around, but he can be very tough if he has to be.
2-2 the count to Ruiz. How was he those 2 years, Wheels, that he was here in Philadelphia?
Perfect for that team. Good pinch hitter, Tom. He didn't play much, but he pinch hit. He hits a grand slam home run as a pinch hitter, and he was a great teammate to those guys. You know, he was older than a lot of them, more experienced. I thought he fit in great when he was here.
Ruiz lines it the opposite way. Worth on the run, and he makes the sliding grab, and the side is retired. Well, that's one thing that Philly fans will not forget. Jason Worth can play himself some defense out in the outfield, and he just made a nice play on a sinking line drive, slicing away in right off the bat of Carlos Ruiz. We go to the 8th. Line's new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Buy Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. And buy the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play 10 times the money. The new instant game from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Well, the Fanatic Dance on top of the Philly dugout featured a John Kruk impersonator. Toyota Wall of Fame night. John Kruk inducted into the Toyota Wall of Fame, and here we go. The Krukker's been all over the ballpark tonight, but I don't know if he's been on top of the dugout, Wheels.
No, that's not Johnny's scene, I don't think. I don't think he would be doing that. That guy gave it a shot, though.
He did.
His old number 19 on there. Kruk had quite a few numbers with the Phillies.
Jason Worth takes a strike from Kyle Kenner. Well, I asked him about that. He traded the one number
with
Mitch Williams.
Right. For a case of beer.
For a case of beer. Said when he came over, he had 28 or 11. I'm sorry, 11 when he came over. And he said, no real reason behind that. It's just that was the number that was available. And then, as you saw, he had 19. He wore 29, wore 28. I said, well, why'd you change your number so many times? He goes, no, I don't know.
He had a great relationship with the Phillies director of equipment, Frank Koppenbarger. They were very close. And Frank would have done anything for Johnny back in those days, Tom.
Including changing his numbers
anything
over and
he
over?
wanted.
Oh, really? One out here in the top of the 8th. And that'll bring Wilson Ramos to the plate. You sure you don't mean that Frank would do anything for him now?
A little more likely now. We'll let Frank handle that.
Ramos is 1 for 3.
Let's put it this way.
Rollins behind the bag throws him out.
Those guys in 93, they could be a little difficult in some ways.
Yeah. Well, and Kruk will tell you that too.
Oh, they all admit it now. Back then they were just out there. They were out there bearing down every day, and they were fun to watch.
And they were Macho Row is what they were.
They had some year.
I think the amazing thing is that they were in last place at the end of the 92 season.
Oh, yeah. Well, Lee Thomas, they made some really good moves. And they had 3 positions where they platooned in left field and right field at second base. And it all just came together. The rotation was very good.
Well, think back to that, Wheels. Did you think that they would be able to have 4 different positions platoon?
No, a lot of times back in those days, a platoon's a dirty word. Why would you platoon somebody? Well, they just had perfect situations in those positions, and it worked out so well for them. Kevin Stocker came along that year and replaced Juan Bell. That was another thing that helped so much at shortstop. That solidified the infield. And he was not a Macho Row guy.
0-2 pitch to Nix. And a fastball on the inside corner. A called strike 3. Nice job by Kyle Kendrick. Back-to-back scoreless innings after he allowed a run in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Phils only down by 3. Coors Light Freeze Cam. It's the start of Alumni Weekend. And John Kruk went into the Toyota Wall of Fame tonight here at Citizens Bank Park. Lefty's here. Schmitty's here. There's Krucky, who's greeted by his son Kyle, his daughter Kira. There's his plaque on the Wall of Fame. And there he's getting a chance to watch video. Dan Stevens' video production. The great Dick Allen on hand. And where'd they get that flag from, Wheels?
How about that? Well, they had some year when that 1993 team was so much fun.
Brian Bixler is in to play left field for the Nationals, and Alex Cora is the new first baseman. Wilson Valdez will lead it off.
I'm doing all they can right now to shore up their defense with a 3-run lead.
And they basically have burned their bench. Well, depending on if Mike Morse is able to play.
Right.
Mike Morse was hit in the elbow, or on the elbow.
Yeah, they're only carrying 4 extra men. And as you said, Tom, you don't know if Morse is available, and the other extra man's their backup catcher, say Flores.
By the way, Bixler will bat 7th, and Cora will bat 4th. So Bixler is in Nix's spot, and Cora is in Johnny Gomes' spot. Tyler Clippard is the pitcher. It's 2-0 to Valdez. And he takes strike 1.
Clippard's fastball changeup for the most part. Has a real good fastball in the 90s and then an excellent changeup.
Ross Glode ready to pinch hit. Brad Lidge out in the bullpen. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2.
There's a changeup. He throws it behind in the count. Right over the top with his delivery too. And that's another thing I think makes his changeup so deceptive is he comes out of the same slot so well with it. And the separation is very good.
Tyler Clippard, originally the property of the New York Yankees, acquired by the Nationals, and he has been a heck of a find. The 2-2 pitch in the air to right center field. Playable for Jason Worth. He calls off Ankiel, 1 away. Follow the Phillies stars of tomorrow in Lehigh Valley, Reading, Lakewood, and Williamsport. All 4 minor league affiliates are close to Philadelphia and easy to visit. You can enjoy a fantastic ballpark experience with games all summer long. Visit Phillies.com/minor leagues for more information and to purchase tickets. There's Brad Lidge. Ross Glode is pinch hitting.
Yeah, a lot of electricity in the ballpark here tonight because of you mentioned the ceremony for John Kruk and all the Wall of Famers showing up, and Livan Hernandez let the air out of the balloon in this one. The crowd just wants to get into this game so badly, and they just haven't had a chance.
Yeah, the crowd tonight, the 183rd consecutive sellout. And it'll be sold out the entire weekend.
Yeah, just nothing happening offensively for them to get into this.
Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Tomorrow, all the alums, the legends, will be introduced before the ball game. Sunday is the unveiling of Harry's statue, which I know we're all excited to see for the first time. We've seen pictures of it. Obviously, we've seen the website. And Alumni Weekend is always a great tradition here in Philadelphia. And this one is going to be extra special, not only because of Krucker being inducted into the Wall of Fame. You know, a lot of the 93 guys now are the folks that are being recognized, but also seeing some of the legends come back, and then the unveiling of the statue on Sunday.
And think how many guys have been playing in this last 4 or 5 years in this city are going to be on that wall someday.
Absolutely. The Toyota Wall of Fame was first instituted in 1978 by the Phillies, and up until 2003 it included the acknowledgement of some folks from the Philadelphia A's as well. And the plaques, well, they're getting thicker and thicker.
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers are growing more and more. As Rollins takes on the inside corner, it's 0-1.
Well, there's going to continue to be a heck of a pool to choose from just in this era of Phillies baseball. And you think about so many of these guys that are playing like the guy at home plate right here.
Yeah. Think about the first 4 in this lineup right now.
They're all going to be on there someday.
1 ball and 1 strike to Rollins. 1983, the Centennial team was inducted into the Wall of Fame. Out in front, 1-2.
They've done a really good job of pitching the lineup tonight too. A lot of slow stuff, soft change-ups, breaking balls, and you know the Phillies, like most teams, want to hit fastballs, and Washington tonight has been very effective pitching backwards to them. And then when you get a fastball like that, Jimmy had a decent swing at it, but they're just not on it because there's so much other stuff mixed in. You say, well, why doesn't everybody do it? Well, not everybody can. They've been very effective with these 2 guys so far.
In the air to right field, Worth heading back, has room at the track, makes the catch, and the side is retired. Phillies go down in order. We've completed 8. On to the 9th here in Philadelphia with the Phillies down 4-1. spaces and on-site catering available year-round for many types of functions, both large and small. Take advantage of all the ballpark has to offer: tours, Fanavision usage. Call the special events department at 215-218-5100 or visit Phillies.com/special events. Oh, we go to the top of the ninth. Brad Lidge is on to try to keep this at a 3-run game. It's 4-1 Washington. Lidge in his ninth ball game, a 1.59 ERA so far.
Nice job by Kyle Kendrick in the long man role, and that gave up the 1 run. You know, there's a play there that maybe could have been an out. He wouldn't get up anything. So he did a good job. It's just that the Phillies have not been able to do anything at all offensively tonight. But to give them 3 innings, that was really important.
So now it's Lidge's responsibility to get this game to the bottom of the ninth. The Phillies down 4-1. They'll face Desmond, and then Jesus Flores, who's in the on-deck circle, to pinch hit for the pitcher. Drew Storen's warming up in the pen. Desmond's 1 for 3, as you saw. There's Storen. Phillies have gotten to him before here at this ballpark. It was Storen's teammate that got to him at the end that won the game for the Phillies.
That was a game last year that really got the Phillies going right to the finish line.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, the Braves came in the Braves were playing really well at that point, if fans remember. Phillies, if they lose that game, the Braves are winning in New York, wound up losing. 2-game swing, boom, just like that. And then the Phillies came in and swept Atlanta. 3-game series, match point. It was over. And it looked like it was going to be a really big, important series when Atlanta came in, because it was going to be close. But then Worth hit that home run off Storen. The Braves lost up in New York, and Phillies took care of business.
Desmond floats one to center. That's going to drop in front of Victorino for a hit. That's his second hit of the night. He had 2 hits coming in against the Phillies this year, and he's 2 for 4. And the pinch hitter is going to be Jordan Zimmerman. So it's not Jesus Flores. That lets you know that Michael Morse is not available. Instead, it's Jordan Zimmerman, one of the starting pitchers for the Zimmerman, who was coming back from Tommy John surgery. His time on the mound might be winding down. He's up there to sacrifice here. And he misses, and Desmond's caught between first and second. The throw by Ruiz on one hop, and Desmond went past the bag, and Rollins stayed on him. 1 away. It'll be a caught stealing 3-6.
Well, that's why you try and stay with a runner if you can as an infielder. Here he is. Hung out to dry. Carlos Ruiz throwing on the run, a tough short hop. And Jimmy Rollins just stays with him and is out.
And now Zimmerman swinging away. It's 0-2. That was a good play by Rollins to pick that ball.
Yes, absolutely, because Carlos Ruiz didn't get anything on it because he threw it on the run.
Swing and a miss. 2 outs. So instead of a runner at second and 1 out in the top of the order up, it's 2 outs and nobody on. And here's Ankiel. Ankiel has not hit the ball hard tonight, but he has 2 hits. Fastball on the inside corner, 0-1. A lot of fastballs tonight from Lidge.
Yeah, it's a good time to work on it, really. With a 3-run lead, you're behind by 3.
Ball hit hard. Diving stop. Utley to his feet. He sets himself and throws out Ankiel. And the side is retired. Well, the Phillies defense stepped up here in the ninth. Made sure it was a 3-run deficit instead of more. Drew Storen's coming on. Shane Victorino to lead it off. Oh, it is that time. It's rally cap time. The Phillies are down 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Phillies have managed only 4 hits, and now they have to deal with the Nationals closer, Drew Storen, who has a lot of decisions. In fact, 38, counting his 30 saves and his 6-2 record. 47 strikeouts in 56 2/3 so far, and he's about ready to start his 55th game.
He's blown 4 saves, and the Washington Nationals overall a team, a league leading 23 blown saves.
Astros at 21, Cardinals at 20. They've tried to redo their bullpen a handful of different times this year.
Just signed Arthur Rhodes.
Shea Victorino will lead it off here in the bottom of the ninth. And he takes a fastball for strike 1.
Storen's one of those kids who was drafted as a closer. He's never had a start in his professional career. Came out of Stanford. He was a 10th overall pick one year for Washington. So that, you see a little bit of that nowadays, where guys are a reliever in college and they're drafted to be a reliever in the major leagues.
Back toward the middle, off the glove of Storen. Victorino's going to be safe at first.
Yeah, there's a start.
Could be the hardest hit ball the Phillies have had tonight, except for the ones in the first inning that were outs by Espinosa.
Yeah, well, they're going to see some hard stuff now. Clippard throws hard too, but this kid really has a good fastball in Storen.
Don't forget, after the ball game, a full recap of this outing, plus highlights from John Kruk's induction into the Toyota Wall of Fame and the latest reports from Eagles training camp. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota, coming up after the Phillies postgame live. It's featuring Phillies postgame live, Michael Barkan and Ricky Vitalico. Here's Utley, 0 for 3. And now the crowd, the 183rd consecutive sellout during the regular season, starting to make some noise.
Not going to hold Victorino on. No sense, in their opinion, to do that with a 3-run lead and a left-handed hitter out. So they're going to play behind him with Cora, the first baseman, and try and take as much of the hole away as possible. When you get another base runner, all of a sudden they're going to be on that line holding the guy on.
On the outside corner, 1-1. 2 double play out groundouts in 29 opportunities. That's because he throws so hard.
Yeah, he's a strikeout pitcher.
He's not going to have a lot of ground ball double play opportunities.
Shane Sutley not happy with that call, that second pitch. 2-0-1-1, huge difference. And I think he and Bob Davidson had just a little conversation there, brief.
Outside, 2-1. The only time since high school that Storen has ever started was in fall ball at Stanford. And the only reason he did that is because he wanted to work on his other pitches besides the fastball. Looks like he's talking to himself out there.
A lot of those relievers do that. But when they're ready, when they're trying to make a pitch.
3-1. And Ramos is going to go out to talk to Storen.
Yeah, he's had some problems here in this ballpark, and you hope it's in his head a little bit.
We've said it many times before as Howard waits on deck. This ballpark, as great as it is for the Phillies and the players and all of us to be part of it, it's not so great for the opposition. It can get in their head.
It's very intimidating here, and of course nothing an opposition player likes more than to quiet the crowd.
And Chase Utley has done a nice job. He's been very deliberate in this at bat to let pitches go by that weren't his kind of pitches. And let's see what he gets. 3-1 with Howard on deck. And he gets a fastball for a strike. It's 3-2.
Good at bat by Chase Utley. Just doing everything he can right now to get the tying run up there, and that would be Ryan Howard.
7.20 earned run average for Storen. And Utley hits it hard. Under the glove of Cora into right field. Victorino's going to get to third. And the Phillies have first and third with nobody out. And the tying run coming to the plate.
Now we got some noise.
Yep.
And they did the right thing there, Tom. We just talked about it. You see Davey Johnson kind of like, well, we put our guy where we wanted him. I mentioned they were not holding him on. They're not guarding the line. They're playing off in case he pulls the ball there, and went right under his glove.
Yeah, not only are they putting their guy where they wanted it, but they made a defensive switch to put him in.
See, he's right here where they want him to be. And where's the ball go? Right to him, right under his glove. So, you know, they did what they had to do there. Now, I would see he's motioned the dugout right now. Cora, where do you want me to play? And as I mentioned, you think they'd be over near the line this time because they don't want to double here down the line. And he's sort of holding Utley on, playing near the line.
Howard's been on base 3 times tonight. Ooh, and he takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1.
See, the difference now is, as opposed to being out here, you want your guy near the line, because the player at home plate, if he gets a second, it's a tying run. So that's the difference in having these 2 men on.
Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Storen has allowed the first 2 batters to get aboard on really the 2 hardest hit balls of the night. Utley's more so than Victorino's.
Right. I mean, that first one is big because, you know, that could have been caught by Storen, and it wasn't. Shane got on. Guy's got some gas, and he threw it by him. And 96. That's just a fastball right down the middle, and he beat him with it. Boy, the outfielder's deep.
And he threw him a slider, and Howard is down swinging for the first out. So what away, and here's Hunter Pence. You got some pretty good pops still coming up, even though Howard went down on strikes.
Right. We have 3 straight guys here that can tie the game. But, you know, a rally here would be nice, too. Another base hit, a double, little things like that. And they're just going to have the outfielders as deep as they can go right now. Anything in front of them is a run in first and third. Let's see how deep they are.
And a slider for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Pence. Victorino's on third. He reached on the ball off the glove of Storen. Then Utley hit one under the glove of Alex Cora. Howard struck out, and now it's Pence. Down in the count, 0-1. That's a good slider right there. It's 1-2.
Good hard breaking ball. Yeah, you know, this guy's fastball and hard slider. You can see why he's a good closer, because he has put away pitches. Really had success with Hunter tonight with breaking balls. Levine had the curve balls, and you know, this guy didn't throw a curveball. He has that hard slider. There's Raul Ibanez waiting. Says, see where they go here, because if you throw it 2-2, you have to have the confidence to throw it 3-2, whatever it is.
And it's a slider in the air to right. Victorino's going to score. Worth will settle under it, makes the catch. Victorino's coming home. The throw to the plate on one hop. He's safe. That was a pretty good throw by Jason Worth. It's now a 4-2 game. And again, the tying run comes to the plate.
I thought he just threw it into second.
I did too.
Victorino had to go hard. Everybody knows Jason has a tremendous arm, and he got behind that thing, and a strong one-hop throw. Catcher tried to block the plate a little bit there, did Ramos.
72 runs scored. Victorino's now tied with Rollins for the team lead. Popped him up. Right side of the infield. Espinosa settles under it, and the Washington Nationals have taken the first of this 3-game series on Alumni Weekend, and they do so by a final score of 4-2. Drew Storen does allow a run here in the bottom of the 9th, but he leaves one over at first as he deals with the tying run in 3 consecutive at-bats. So the Phillies drop the first of the 6-game homestand as they've managed just 6 hits in tonight's ball game. Let's take a look at our W.B. Mason deliveries of the game, not on the mound, but at the plate for Livan Hernandez.
We talked about Livan Hernandez. He doesn't strike out, and he got 2 big hits tonight. There's one off the glove of Jimmy Rollins, scored a run, and then later on, base hit up the middle, knocked in another. So he not only pitched really well tonight, he knocked in 2 runs. Well, Livan Hernandez delivered our W.B. Mason deliveries of the game.
So he wins his 7th ball game. Davey Johnson picks up the victory in game 1. We'll be back to talk more about it right after this.